Let's do this again, but now let's look at, instead of non-liquidating, let's look at a liquidating distribution. So basically what it means is the partner got maybe kicked out, so therefore their ownership has to go to zero, right? Their ownership, which is their outside basis, has to go to zero. So let's start over here. This is called a liquidating distribution. Liquidating distribution. All right, so my outside basis is 10. First case, I'm going to get cash of 2 and then 15. So I'm going to get cash of 2, but this has to go to 0, so I have an $8 loss. That's going to be an $8 loss. Okay, so that's going to be a capital loss. Instead, I have a basis of 10. I get 15, has to go to 0. I have a $5 capital gain. Okay. Property. Outside basis 10. Here is the inside basis. Again, that is the basis of the property inside the partnership to the partnership. It's either 2 or it's 15. When I receive this property, this has to go to 0. What does that mean? It means you always pick it up for what? The outside basis. Why? Because you cannot have a gain or loss on property. Remember, no gain or loss on property. So what is that saying? No gain or loss on property. You could have a gain or loss on cash. Cash is king, cash is cash. But no gain or loss on property. If it is a liquidating distribution, you're withdrawing, you're leaving. Bye-bye. Right? You're going bye-bye, which means this has to go to 0. It's got to go to 0. What does that mean? It means that if it's property, forget inside, always pick it up for outside basis. What if it's non-liquidating? Then you pick it up for the lower of inside or outside. What's lower? 10 or 2? 2. So you still have some basis left. What's lower? 10 or 15? 10. Boom. Got to go to 0. Because if you put 15, you'd have a gain. No gain on property. Let's look at our notes. You'll see an example of this in your notes. Pretty straightforward. It says non-liquidating distributions. There it says of cash and then of property. And you can see there, is there a gain or loss? And then you'll see if the basis is 8, that's the outside basis. There you have a gain on cash, but no gain on property. Again, 0, 0. It says a liquidating distribution is in some ways simpler since the partner's basis has to go to 0. Difference between cash and property is as follows. Cash, inventory, unrealized receivable distributions. Total of cash, unrealized receivables, appreciation, distributed to the partner compared to the partner's basis. And then you could have a gain or loss. Property distributions are always equal to the partner's basis. What is the partner's basis called? Their outside basis. Always equal to what? Their outside basis. Now you'll see at the bottom of those examples a note. Note. If receive both cash and property, you always know the value of what? Cash. Always do cash first, then do property. So for example, if I came back here and let's say I got cash, do the cash first, then I'm basically starting with a new basis of 8, then I get property. Pick it up for whatever, the lower, I still have so much. So always do cash first and then do property because you always know the value. To summarize, you'll see here, non-liquidating, lower of inside, outside. Liquidating, outside basis. And again, this is your summary for the property other than cash, distributed property other than cash. So again, for property, that is what is happening as far as the amounts. Partner's basis greater than basis, asset, non-liquidating, asset. Partner's basis less than asset, pick it up at partner's basis. Okay, so that's important to understand as far as how they relate. And you're going to see that we're going to go through a lot of questions like this again and again and again.